All right, so here we go. LPL Grand Finals, JDG, BLG. We've had the number one and two teams across China the entire time, so let's try to get some depth of understanding what to expect from these teams at MSI. We had a last pick Jax from Bin, which is one of his favorite champions, and JDG seemed to have wanted it because they picked Cassante, they left Jax. Jax is a little bit favored in this matchup, so we're going to see what they have in story. Notably, we've got Ghost and Teleport from JDG in top lane. Also, we've got fan starts. Check out the ward placements right here from Wukong, making sure that Vi isn't trying to steal the red or contest, because Vi will be favored in that level 2 fight if it comes up. Vi also going for a very shallow ward. So worth noting, right, when you're scouting out teams like this, you really want to see what kind of vision layering they get down. And between this ward and this ward, you're going to have a really good idea of what Vi is doing within 45 seconds. One thing of note, this one is pretty shallow, so there is actually a path to red. So, for example, you could go blue Gromp into red, not be seen by this ward, and still be ganking bot with them thinking that you might be. So if you did that path against this ward structure, they would assume that you're on 3 waiting to come to Raptors, but you could actually be finishing red and ganking bottom by the time they realize that they don't see you at the Raptor pit. But I do like, in general, this one just needs to be a little bit further down, but the pairing of 2 wards by BLG to sort of create an aggregate vision. The only thing that's left is whether or not Vi's can come straight through here. And, most times that is warded, so you'd have to scout exactly how many times they're complicating this. So now they will get vision on Vi. We'll see if Jax starts to step up and take more aggressive trading. It looks like he's creating a slow push for himself. This is how Bin wants to play the matchup. He's going to use a minion advantage to stack the wave and make it so that Cassante cannot fight at his best level and go forward. All right, so now we've got Veigar versus Annie. We have Playmaker versus Anti-Playmaker. At this level, Veigars aren't really using the cage to try to set up plays as much. They can, but most of the time it's going to be enemy team is engaging and they'll put down the wall as a way to answer. So now check this out. Cassante was able to get a good front up trade here against Jax. So now is Jax willing to go and continue to finish pushing this wave? And they did have information on Vi going to bot, so he's going to feel pretty comfortable there. Less information gathered about the Wukong, however, so Cassante might think twice about going up further. Vi going for Scuttle on spawn with a full clear done. Tries not to use. There we go. All right. Did not have Smite to use it anyways. Both junglers having to use Smite on their own to get the fast start. Of course, they're going to do that if they're by themselves at level 1. Get themselves a fast level 2. And here we go. First gank of the evening. Now, a little bit of a big stepping up, seeing if he can get into the Wukong territory. But the call is get out, which means that Wukong's down a lot of trouble. They're going to actually take a pretty severe punishment here. A little bit of peel is not going to be enough. It's not going to get them under turret. Cannot be able to take that extra damage. Now here we go. Is the full continuation. They've trapped missing. Jinx is still dutifully on the minions. Not giving an F. Oh, look at this play. Holy moly, JDG 369 showing that he has a way to beat the Jax. This is supposed to be pretty favored for Jax, although not quite yet. On 0 items, Cassante, of course, one of the best champions in the entire game. Let's see, continuation here. Pop, pop. So look at this play. Using the Q3 while the Counter-Strike is up and then dashing forward to dodge the effect. Very nicely played. All right, so let's see. We've got Teleport down from Annie, down from Veigar. So very much looking to play inside out on mid, trying to get that pressure, trying to get that extra spike. Just be a half level ahead at any moment. Can give your team some amount of pressure. Vi's looking for a second clear, going in the same direction. Wukong doing the same thing. So you see a heavy consideration towards bot lane, as these teams have been doing. Of course, AD carry is the strongest it's been in a few years. And you have 2 premier endgame champions. They're going for Jinx and Aphelios, right? So there is going to be some amount of tug of war on this bot side about who can get any kind of lead. But normally in these games, when you have a big bot side presence, it's going to allow a pick like Jax to thrive in the top lane, right? You said, okay, we're going toe for toe. We're going to go hyperscaling marksman down in the bot lane, and then we're going to put a supreme scale up in top. And you can already see that the difference in the build, just simple sheen. Jax has the advantage. Even though he spent 100 less gold, he's still feeling very comfortable here. K'Sante basically having to use all of his abilities just to avoid a simple jump in from Jax. All right, so we're timing in a roam down into this area. Veigar gets the push as Wukong jumps the wall. You like to see this, that they're doing everything in a consolidated pattern. Bin, knowing or suspecting that the jungler is in bot, is using this time to get a proxy farm off, which will let him get a much better back off. So we have a big lead here from Billy Bin in the top lane. He's going to be able to come back out. Again, K'Sante's only real advantage here is that he still has teleport. But even that should not be for too long. Now, I like this play by Kanavi, right? They showed up, they played defensively, and specifically they saw Bin proxying. So when someone's proxying, you know that their intent is to teleport, or to recall, I should say, right? Because they're putting themselves in harm's way. They're doing it to kill the minion wave faster, and then they can recall, show up to this wave. That's the entire strategy behind it. And they come and they say, all right, if we know that you're recalling, then we can actually go for this dragon. But Smite win from Zun, and they get this difference. Now Veigar gets this kill, and now if they can clean up the rest of this fight and not suffer casualties, they're going to be in a good spot. But they end up with 2 trade back kills. So overall, we're going to give the win to JDG, but largely execution based, right? So if we go back, I'm sure we'll see a replay. Going to look for spacing, positioning, Vi on the early start, whether or not you have prio in bot lane and in mid. So check this out. So they have the early prio. They pushed out. They went 50-50 now. Aphelios, instead of going for the wave, decides to come in here. Wukong timing his decimating smash, or whatever it's called, the Q, with the smite. Now Elk was furthest up, and Thresh moved out. So it's very interesting. That was just enough of a bait, apparently, to get them to step up. But from here on out, not quite enough. Andy gets the shield just in response to the Wukong flash. Went for flash Q instead of Q flash. Could have been the difference. It looked like Andy got it out in time, but that's something that needs to get tightened up. So now I love this, right? Aphelios has the lane on his side. Jinx comes over. They're going to give Ruler this Herald. They're going to try to put it in his wave, try to get them to break one of the less consequential turrets. You want to do it up in top lane so that way you can keep on putting pressure to 2 to 4 champions in the bot side river. So if you can get this one out of the way first using the Herald, give up a couple plates in tax, then it's a good play. So I like this approach. There's a chance that they're able to 4-man dive here on Jax. Beating the flash. Here we go. We've got Jinx Rocket coming out very early. Good staggering on the CC. Jax dies. How many plates are we going to get in bot lane? K'Sante came down here, and what I love about it is that he rotated straight down here and kept his teleport. So they've actually, JDG did the Giga Special play here, right? You come over, you rotate your beefy tank up in the top wave, you rotate him down, you keep teleport. So if the answer from enemy team is 3 people bot, you're healthy. If the answer is 5 people top, then you can still teleport up there. So I really like this decision by JDG as a whole. You move Ruler up, pick up the Herald, they get that full plate down, they get the full turret down, get the first brick bonus. And K'Sante's down here, Lulu helping him to survive. And then they're going to go and they're going to stick it back. They're going to reverse. Oh, no, I don't like that position, Lulu. She's not going to pay with her life. Ooh, missing! Missing with the jukes. Elite level dodges there. Don't like the position to step up, so we'll see if maybe that's a tendency that after he comes out, he looks toward this bush. You might be able to set a trap there in the tri-bush. But look for JDG to reset lanes now, right? You're going to get Jinx with her big gold boon going into bot lane. Now, check out the difference in items, right? She's got a tier 2 boots and a pickaxe lead over the Aphelios. So, absolutely, they're looking to press this advantage. down here, and you can expect Vi to put her next ultimate down in this lane as well. Thresh is going to start playing much further back because this is really a lost lane now, with Jinx being this far ahead. This is really the power of that 4-man rotation. Good job by Veigar. I'm surprised Lulu didn't flash right at the end, but look at that dodge into this dodge. So clean. Definitely helped that they had vision of them while they were casting the spells, right? These pros are good. They are watching animations, so they see the animation of the enemy champion, and that's when they juke. You'll also notice that most of the times they're going to use spacebar. Ooh, Q flash into R. Good layering. Beautifully done. Nice job. So actually not swinging through bot, using the recall timer to gank mid instead. We've got 43 seconds till Dragon. Blue team with a severe advantage. This is a big problem. They are going to be able to take everything that they want in this jungle. But, you know, luckily for BLG, they were able to smite steal the last one and get a small victory. So JDG, kind of knowing that they're going to be able to do whatever they want, actually get a little bit greedy. You see Kanavi stealing a Raptors camp as well. Good job by missing, actually preparing for this siege, right? That control ward serves the purpose of knowing if the enemy team is going to be pushing up or not. So missing, taking that away, denying that information, right? That extra 3-4 seconds you get after you clear the wave and the minion wave is dead before you get to turret. If your position is a little bit disguised, you could be in a good spot. Man, missing is impossible to hit. Scouting report might be don't try to hit missing with skill shots. Probably the best, maybe top 5 in the world at doing that at his position. All right, let's see what's next. JDG able to take this. Jax is not ready to come contest. He would really like to have his Divine Sunder, and you see the first item spikes across the board. 4 first items all completed. You only have a Gale Force from BLG. So Billy absolutely going to leave that. Now expect to see Aphelios rotate to mid soon. You'll probably end up staying one more wave down in bottom, as long as no one shows. But as soon as Cassante shows, he has to get out, because Cassante does have the ability to get on him, especially with Ghost, which is something I love in this fight. Ghost is a good answer to Thresh, right? If Thresh is trying to reposition and lantern you out, you can still Ghost into position. So Aphelios here is going to have to be very careful. Thresh is closer. They see Lulu, so there's not that much threat yet. Able to play the range advantage here, and you do have level 9 versus level 9 because of the amount of swapping that they did. And also, you know, Elk, for his credit, is the biggest one on his team, right? Level 9 and the first person to complete a full item. So he is definitely not weak here. I am surprised that 369 is not willing to do something about it under turret. He can't imagine that this is completely, that he was getting ambushed. That was very passive from Cassante. Definitely an ode to the fact that Lulu and Vi are on the other side of the map. And he's saying, you know what? I could see him making this decision that he actually wants this turret down. Because now look what he's going to be able to do. He's going to be able to freeze this lane on the bot side. Kind of the opposite of what Jax is doing. And saying, hey, this is a lane where I get farm and you don't. As long as Jax is trying to do this, then I'll be able to do it as well. The problem is that benefits the Jax team better. So we'll see what comes of it. Not only that, but Jax also has teleport. So even if he's freezing on his side of the map, he will ultimately be able to join a fight if it comes to it. Whereas Cassante is going to have a long roam. So look for a window right here. JDG with no teleport on the Cassante is going to the furthest corner of the map. We'll see if the Rift Herald is the price that they have to pay. So, also wonderfully warded. Check out that line of wards, 1, 2, 3 that were put down there to see exactly whether or not Cassante would be rotating, which does give BLG the information that they are able to step into this river, claim it. Look at this trinity of control wards. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. A very tight packed cluster of them. Normally, you'd want them to be a little bit spread out, but with a champion like Veigar on your team, you're definitely daring the enemy team, right? Between Veigar and Thresh, look at this combination. This is going to be a dead Cassante. And yeah, you pay the price, right? No teleport. Here we go. But look at the rest of the fight. Let's check the positioning. Full scatter to the left side. Good position here. Thresh was actually, was he peeling the Tibbers, or was Tibbers just chasing hard? Man, you see the benefit of just being there first. Also, the fact that they were able to get their items before they did it, right? Very importantly, they would not have contested this without catching their items. But with 4 items purchased versus 4 items, they're no longer behind. They didn't need to forfeit it the way that they did with the dragon. And specifically, those wards were able to show them that K'Sante is incapable of joining in time. So they're going to get a huge head start here. Wukong able to combo out the eye, and they get the full front on K'Sante. A little bit of miscommunication. Like, it looks like Knight on Annie was looking for a flank position. K'Sante was trying to buy time. But realistically, K'Sante just got way too low. He just got hit with all the magic damage when he's building an armor item. And walks in, takes the full brunt of it. Lulu unable to keep him alive. So good setup by Billy. Jingdong feeling like they're strong, but not checking all the boxes before going in. So we'll see if that becomes whether or not it's a one and done nerves thing from game 1 of the finals, or whether or not they do it again. So check out again the cluster control wards. After they won that fight, they decided, we're going to claim this area. We want to see movement across from the top side to the bottom half of the map, or moving towards the Baron Pit. Jax still has teleport, so very happy to go on this opposite side. This is not something I would recommend for JDG. They would have to win with their 4-stack, which they do think that they will, right? They think they're stronger. They have the catch potential with Vi into Annie, into Jinx Rocket, right? They can get a kill from across the map, seemingly. So they want a spread out map so that they can create these windows for Vi, right? She's much better in a 3v3 than she is in a 5v5. But they're giving up a lot to do it, right? K'Sante just getting outscaled by Jax. They have to go to opposite lanes. Now, Jax this time using the Herald while he's in the side lane, but K'Sante had been missing off the map for about 25 seconds, so could have known that it was going to get answered, but I think he's still going to get it in. Let's see who decides to play forward here. I like this Thresh position. They're going to try to claim space on the right. And since they can be first to move, they do, right? They say, all right, you're doing with the Herald, and we've got superior vision coming across the left quadrant. So Jax should be able to get here first, but look at this line by K'Sante. K'Sante's saying, I'm going to get here at the same time as you. They need to converge this fight. Are they really trying to pick it on the left? They're going for the Jax. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Q3 from K'Sante, stacked up slows, and they're able to pick him off, because that's actually what you want, right? You want a shadow. You want a chaperone. If K'Sante can chaperone Jax into fights, then that is ideal situation for JDG. Right? Jax can get one shot. He can survive a lot of it, but if you can isolate him from his team and use all these hard engaged tools to go left instead of go right, absolutely take that. And any time that Jax goes down is going to be a big difference within this game. So let's see the positioning here. Veigar wall being used, but they don't step forward. Yeah, this is just a mistake. Billy, perhaps thinking that they had a better angle in with Jax. As soon as 40 seconds ago, they had a teleport advantage, but that went away, right? K'Sante's came up, and he also moved Chaperone to the Jax into the fight. And perhaps there was a split call saying, hey, I don't have a way in as the Jax. Veigar saying, all right, I'm going to wall so we can step forward. But maybe if that communication happens at the same time, they might get in each other's way. So big win there for JDG. They get the Dragon and they get the Jax. And things are looking up for them. Now they have the catch. They have the team fight. Front to back, I mean, Jinx is going to excel with a Lulu at her back, Vi moving forward, but realistically, they could easily look for flanks in this spot, especially to get around Veigar's cage, right? And the fact that there's going to be split pushing, you need to find engage opportunities, and if you're getting flanked, then Ben either needs to have teleport ready or needs to be ready to take a whole lot of damage going for turrets. Now, Megatron Cloak going in here, really a testament to how much, not getting burst by the Vhagar, which is something that can happen when you do go all out. It's worth considering as a Cassante. Champions like Cho'Gath, Garen, Vhagar that have these execute abilities, you definitely have to be careful with them, right? So he goes with the early Megatron Cloak and steps forward. Now check this out. Knight, straight line just goes up. Is the rest of the team there ready to make the continuation? It looks like they're going to go back. Yeah, they're going to win this fight by turning back, right? Thresh had to flash out. Elk had to flash out on Aphelios. So instead of chasing forward, they just go and they take the rest of the fight. But Bin showing his strength coming up here. Oh, Ruler going for that Gale Force Jinx engage. Now let's see, with 3 champions, are they feeling themselves for here? Vhagar, no all. Aphelios, no all. 3 versus 2. This is a dangerous position. So let's check out how they approach it. Jinx staying on the outside so that she can keep vision on the Vhagar. Now, they don't have that many tools. This was really never going to happen. And in fact, by doing this, they're making so that their back timers are going to be a little bit syncopated. They're going to lose priority here on it. Now, Annie's just jumping straight into the hook to get this play off. That's so sick. Now, Vi holding onto the spell, looking to go backwards. Let's see how the team goes. Whew, big enough damage. Wow, Aphelios contributing from afar. That needed to happen. Otherwise, Jax would have just entered there. Good job by Jinx getting that cleanup, but they were not strong enough. And now look at this. They're kind of stuck in this position. Multiple dashes from Cassante, but you are not going to get away from these hooks, even with the Lulu ult. Are they going to try? They're trying. They're doing. All right, now they need to get out with the teleport. But at the very least, you've got teleport and 2 ultimates sucked out right there. So they are going to take that all day long. All ultimates available. Look for BLG to force at this Baron now. Teleport is down. 2 ultimates are down. Key ones too, right? Cassante and Lulu is a lot of their continued fighting power. Apart from Jinx, that is the only source of continued sustained damage that they have on the team. Vi offers something, but not that much. And so let's see if they take it. All right, Thresh fronts the damage, but they get AoE'd. Great ult by Jinx. Good position by Ruler, staying off to the top right of the fight, staying away from the Jax, and this is going to be a total cleanup. So this is one of those fights where, yes, good in principle, very hard to execute. And JDG actually punishes them completely. So even though they were down a teleport and 2 ultimates, what you'd really like to do is use the threat of having more ultimates to get better vision, right? So right now you see that they don't really have control of who's approaching the pit, whereas, and in this case, JDG was able to just charge right in. So you lost one of the advantages that you had of having the ultimates, right? We kind of feel stronger. So in darkness, we're going to be good. But if you're taking Baron damage and you're low, debuffed, and you've been using cooldowns, you're no longer stronger, right? So they overestimating their power, not using it quite correctly. They really wanted to take that moment of being that much stronger to really gain control. And then you can even throw Bin to the far side of the map, right? And say, all right, you don't have a teleport. What are you going to do to stop us? Right? We can go here. We've won the area. It's dark. You're going to have to come in to try to get vision against Wukong, Thresh, and Vhagar, while you also have a split pushing Jax. That would have presented huge problems. But instead, we go and we've got a dominant position now from JDG. So expect them to go with a 4-1 split, kind of get vision in the eastern quadrant, and then make their way towards bot and mid as they generate pressure in both spots. Now, Annie showing how strong she can be into a Vhagar, right? 0 threat of being bursted by a Vhagar ever. And she has the kill pressure and only her. So good answer here by BLG, right? Correct answer would be to press forward, push a wave mid, push a wave top, and collect jungle on the left side of mid lane, right? Get the western quadrant, northern quadrant farm. Aphelios actually could have grabbed Krugs right there. Had the time, right? You're not going to go up here. You're not going to contest this wave as they're coming back from Dragon. Now, let's see. We have a teleport up from Cassante. So they might go into a full split, but check out all this vision they've got in the eastern quadrant. They've got full idea of where Jax is moving, and that is going to be game right here. Beautiful Q flash. Using the vision afforded by the Jinx rocket. So yes, congratulations. You've dodged the rocket, but zoning ultimate. Give a little bit of vision, show Kanabi where you've got to aim, and now they get to it. So K'Sante pushing in top has teleport around. There's no other teleports available, although I believe Yagao's is available. He just needs to burn through his cleanse to get to it using the Summoner Spellbook. But expect... No, you know what? They're not actually doing it the slow way. They're bringing 4 people bot and 1 top. Sometimes you can go 3 bot, 1 mid here, especially a fighter type like Vi can go over there. And then you look to get this flank, but instead they go for 4 in bot. They try to protect this while K'Sante's pushing, but K'Sante does not have that much power. Let's see if this is the fight. Bin has teleported in, and K'Sante is late coming over. No, this should have been an evacuation call. Teleporting to the Tibbers... And he arrives just in time to get... No, you know what? Tibbers was able to soak the hook. Vi going deep for the Aphelios, and that is just going to be too strong. They're able to get it just in time, and the wave is big enough, so it's going to break the topside inhibitor. They get their cake, they eat it too. K'Sante showing exactly how strong he is. I like the play from BLG though, right? You have to pull the trigger somewhere. You're losing in 2 different positions. Not enough pick on the team. You do have counter engage in bot lane, so if Bin can get that good angle, but not that many ways to force a fight from this team. And in this case, the tragic Tibbers tanking for the Thresh hook is able to get them. So well played, JDG 1-0.